Yeah, I mean, that is literally essentially why the tutor services are here for you guys, is stuff like that, common kitchen conversions. And I
Cool.
will show you, we're going to kind of recap some of the stuff. So if you've been in the workshop one of the previous weeks, I might say some of the same stuff, but we're going to kind of recap, go through the Escoffier dashboard, every everything you can find in there, different tools you all have to use towards you, including math, like those resources. And we have like flashcards and a bunch of stuff that you can work on in your own time. And a lot of stuff that, I mean, we're here to help you with as well at that time. So we'll definitely kind of go through that. I will pause it here and there with questions. Chef Lindsay, do you go? I'm always going to call you that. Anyway, Lindsay's here with us, another tutor. So she's going to be manning the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in there. I know I will forget them if I wait till somebody pauses to let me ask my question. So feel free to throw that question in the chat. She will kind of throw them out there to me as well as we go. But yeah, I mean, welcome. This is our last week of this workshop. Basically just going through ways to succeed on online schooling, online culinary schooling, really. Everything you need to know going forward. So if you're here and it's your first time, great to have you and welcome. And we will get started. So I'm going to share my screen with you. So this is our Escoffier dashboard. I am going to do this. Okay. So dashboard here. And I just have CU 101. I know some of you are on the pastry side of it. Same setup, same similar stuff. So just so you're aware of that, if this is not your class, it should be very similar. So to kind of go through things we got, if you click up in the top right corner where your name is, this will give you all these different options, different things you can do, your dashboard, your profile, editing your profile. I will click that because why not go through it? You can basically put in everything that you want in here, description, your picture, different stuff, everything going on there. I will go back to where I was at. Your class page, little pop outs. I don't know why I like it this way, but this is the way that I like it. You do not have to do it this way. You can hide this guy, make it bigger, pop this guy out. Same with the left side, this black thing. If you hit these 3 lines at the top, that goes away. So whatever view you like, I mean, use that view. Why not? I like them popped out. I guess I like all the stuff that I can look at. I don't have to be moving around. Anyway, so looking at this, if you hit this little gear setting thing, settings, editing, filters, I mean, there's so many different stuff going on here that you can do. Course completion, grade books. Another huge thing is if you have yet to figure this out, when you click into your class, if you click on the left side and you click grades, that will pop up your grades. I don't have any. I got a 0. I have yet to submit anything. But this will show you your grades, what's submitted. And I believe there's like a little section, feedback. You should be able to see every single thing that you got going. Dashboard just brings you back to the home page. I have to have that popped out. Let's see, what else? Top. This little bell is notifications. So when you have assignments due, when you have things of that sort, you'll see those notifications when you've turned in something, something's been graded, you'll find that there. Let's see, this is our messages. So you can click this, you can private message people. Campus store, resources, catalog. I mean, this is just kind of student resources, financial aid. If you hit this help center button or this help button in the far bottom right corner, it's the same help button. I will hit it just to go there. Brings us to Escoffier, and it gives you a bunch of different topics like frequently asked questions. Chances are something that you are asking or trying to figure out, like how to submit my assignment, how to use a discussion forum. While we have plenty of resources and tools, it's definitely on here as well. How to submit from a mobile device, which if you are on your mobile device only, I encourage you to go back to week 2 of this lesson, or this, I don't know if it's a lesson, workshop, I guess, same thing. This one's a good one, recent. More than likely, you'll only have 1 or 2 classes going, so you can always go to this. Myself, I'm always clicking into numerous, so I rarely use it, but I bet you will more than me. So going back to our CU 101 page, kind of scrolling down, and I guess a big thing to kind of note here, they would not be giving you buttons and links to click if they did not want you to click them. I know that seems really obvious, but like every single link you see throughout your course on your class page is there for a reason. It's not there for no one to use. So, I mean, click into it, read it, see what it's all about. I mean, that is the best way to get comfortable using this. You're going to be using this dashboard for the entire program. Every class you take will be on here. Every single week's program throughout each course that you take will be on here. So it's really good to understand the way it's set up and the way that it's divided out. And it's just easier to understand. So moving on, success coach, yours will probably say a person here. That's a great person to reach out to if you have issues with job loss, job gain, time management, I don't know, death in the family, income, financial, Chromebook, any type of issues you're having that aren't like for your chef and they aren't like you need help with this. It's more like life coach, I guess. They're great people to reach out to. Your start here section, and I'm kind of going to go through this a little bit faster than I have previously. You have your syllabus, super, 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 super important. Your syllabus tells you everything that's expected of you throughout the class, what is basically going on throughout the program, throughout that course. Your textbook is on here, professional cooking, online tutoring. I will touch on that for a minute. That is us. Yay. So this is where you would go in your class to click on. Again, online tutoring brings you to our tutoring page. And this is where you'll be able to schedule a one-on-one session. If you click on this, it brings you to our basically scheduling page. One thing to note, this is always in your time zone. You do not have to do time zone math. It is always there. So if you need math, technology, like let's say you're doing some math. I know we were talking about struggling with math, and you just have math foundations, rounding, conversions, basic math. And you can book a session with any of the people listed. Again, it'll give you times, dates, who's available when. You can pick and choose. One thing to note, it's super important to show up to them. If you're not going to show up, or if you get busy or something comes up, you have to go to work, try to cancel before the appointment. Earlier the better, that you know, because essentially we only have so many appointments available. And if you're taking up an appointment and you don't show up, that's another time that we could have helped another student. So just be courteous of everyone's time. But we are here to help you with all your issues, whether it be math, technology, assignment submission, Google Drive, all that good stuff. So going forward on this tutor page, I just wanted to walk you through that. All of our workshops, and this does change a little bit each term, but this is set for the term. So this is our schedule. You're on Monday, New Student Success Workshop. So that is where you'll find the schedule, basically. All this is Central Time Zone.
Jessica. Hello, Jessica. This is Sandra.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yes.
All right. So basically, back to this page, we got workshops, all the Zoom calls to join in on those workshops. We have, all of them are recorded. So if you're like, shoot, I really need to learn how to submit my assignment on the dashboard on my mobile phone, and there's no tutor appointment available today, and I'm freaking out because I need my assignment submitted, because we've all been there. If you haven't yet, way to go, because you're doing great then. Everyone has one of those freakouts. That's okay. Which is why these are so great that we record them and post them on here, is that you always have access to these. So if you need to learn how to submit things, study tips, math, writing, anything going forward, we record them and put them up there. So like this is recorded and it will be up here later in our studies. No, we're in new student success. I always mix those two up. I should not though, because I'm doing one of them. We have our extra resources. This is kind of what I was referring to. We have a bunch of Quizlets, writing Quizlets. If you, yes, it's not even if you struggle to read. If you struggle to read or comprehend and you like some, I know some people are just, everyone learns differently and that's totally cool. Some are visual, some are auditory, some are physical. I'm sure majority of you here are physical in some way, hence for the culinary hands-on stuff. But this natural readers thing is really cool because it basically reads the text to you. You can slow it down, you can speed it up. So if you struggle comprehending what you're reading, that's a really good one. You can basically listen, slow down the words, and comprehend it while somebody's reading it to you. So anyway, all these are just amazing resources that you guys all have available to you. Use them. They're here. That is why we are here, basically. Going forward, Writing Center, Escoffier Club Hub, live session backgrounds, like you see mine. Those are always really cool. Rubrics, grades, again, are right here. Grades are over here. Getting a computer. Any announcement your chef may have will be up in here. Walk-in. I feel like each chef utilizes this a little differently, but this is kind of like, think of a Facebook group with your classmates. Essentially what it is. You can post on here, you can have questions. This is a great place to just kind of converse with each other, talk about different things. This is typically, at least not recently, as far as I know, could be wrong, they're always changing things, not a graded thing. So it's not a requirement, but it is one of those things that you can use it to your advantage. And to be honest with you guys, the more you use this in your class, the more others use it, and the more everyone learns and does better. If no one uses it, it just kind of sits here and does nothing. And it's just this tool that's blank, which is not ideal either. So think of it kind of like a open Facebook group, just talking to your classmates. Like, did anyone have struggle making cookies this week? Or did anyone else find this and this and this? Or any struggles you have, things like that. It's kind of like, I guess, think of it in the sense, if you were all together in a classroom setting, 12 of you making the same dish, you would talk about it. You would talk about like, oh, why are you doing that? Or, oh, that's a good idea. Just stuff like that. I mean, so that's what this walk-in is for. It's just kind of giving you more of a in-person feeling online, which I'm sure we are all sick of at this point, but you guys get the gist. So going through, and I know you guys are on week 4 now, finishing up week 4, which is fantastic. You got your learn section. This will show you all of your research material, all your videos you need to watch, everything you need to learn, watch, read is all listed in here. So everything you're going to need for that week is going to be listed right there. Jumping back to our week 1. Close that guy. So you have your discuss, live sessions, which I kind of don't like that I'm in this like fake class. I almost want to jump into one of your real classes. Anyway, this is where your Zoom calls will be, where the archives will be, your experience, your rubrics. These rubrics, so actually, I'm going to go through this. So your experience assignments, this is where you submit your work. This is also where you find the requirements for your work. This is where you find every single picture you need to submit your work. This weekly rubric, I will go into it. This tells you everything you need. Rubrics and syllabuses, two huge like red flags. Pay attention to, because those things are huge. So looking at this, kind of zooming in here, it will tell you exactly what each section is, like narrative, you'll get a 0 if you're doing this. If you're doing this, you'll get 9. If you're doing this, you'll get 12. If you're doing this, you'll get 15. Maybe you get somewhere in between. But this is basically if you're like, man, why did she only give me 6 out of 12 on that? I did everything. If you come to this rubric, you will probably be able to figure it out too without even talking to your chef. Like, oh, I forgot to address all components have been fully addressed. I guess I'm going to give you a piece of advice if you have yet to figure that out. On your narrative, your culinary production sheet, fill out everything. So if there is, I'm going to pull one up. I got my Google Drive. This is our narrative if you're in culinary, CU 101. Pastry, yours looks a lot different, but it's the same concept, just a little bit more, to be honest, complicated, but not in a bad way. So this is our narrative. You got a bunch of questions. Do not leave these blank. While cooking this week, what challenges did you encounter? Don't just say to yourself, oh, I didn't encounter any challenges, we good, and then not put anything in there. I'm telling you, no, I did everything great. Anything, seriously. They just want an answer. If you, and Lindsay's probably laughing, I'm so bad at grammar. Anyway, so they just want to see everything's answered. Your answers are important and it does matter, but if you don't know what to say or you don't have anything to say something as simple as that, like, nope, everything went well this week, or no challenges here. I mean, if you leave it blank, they will mark you down because they think you skipped it, essentially. So that is just one random tangent that has nothing to do with what we're supposed to be talking about, but kind of was relevant. I guess more of a pointer tip thing. These recipes are here. I'm going to go to your week 4 because that's where you're at. Pastas and sauces. So again, if you go to your experience, your assignments, you go to week 4, pasta and tomato sauce. This will bring up everything. Like I was saying, to create this assignment, you will need required proof. And it tells you each exact picture you need. Your mise en place, your vegetables, sweating in a pot, simmering sauce, final sauce after puree. Every single thing here you will need. If you're missing any of these pictures, you're going to get marked down. Just, I mean, if you haven't figured that out yet, I'll just tell you. The narrative reflection sheet, that's where you find it. It should pull up this. You click make a copy. As soon as you make a copy, and actually not everyone knows this, so this is just, we have Google Drive workshops. We're not allowed to call them that anymore. They're assignment submission workshops, but they're really Google Drive. So if you're struggling with Google Drive and getting that organized, those are great tools, great resources. I will pop back in here and show you exactly which one I am talking about. Chef Andy leads those. They're on Monday, assignment submission, culinary and pastry. That means Google Drive. I'm not even gonna pretend it doesn't, it does. So these ones are great to learn how to do Google Drive on your phone, on your desktop, on your laptop. And then essentially once your Google Drive, you got everything in there. You're putting all your pictures, all your narratives in your Google Drive folder. That folder you make shareable, you make sure they can visibly see it. What you're basically doing with that Google Drive, again, I will just pop in here. You highlight it, this little paper clip, without going too far into Google Drive, that gets you your link. So you would click copy link. This copies that folder link. So I just copied Escoffier because I think I do actually have some of them set up. So you would actually go into your week, paperclip, copy link. You gotta make sure this says anyone with the link. If this says restricted, no one else can see it but you. Sorry, I am gonna kind of breeze through that fast because I know Chef Andy, this is what her workshop is. We don't want to mix and mingle them. But that is how you get that link, which was the whole point. So going back here, as soon as you download this narrative, it automatically puts it into your Google Drive, puts it right in your main page. And then you can go into it and put it into whichever folder you need to. But it automatically, when you make that copy, puts it there. So going back to our dashboard, did I already submit this? I did not. Okay, I don't know why that confused me. Basically, right here, if you haven't submitted it yet, we'll say add submission with a box. You click that, that is where you copy and paste your link. Again, that's the rubric. There it is, add submission. I just had to scroll farther. This will bring up, again, this text box. You do not put anything in this text box except your Google Drive link. That is it. That is all you put. Do not upload pictures in here. Do not put your narrative in here. Do not send him 8 different links. One link, one folder, everything in that folder. This is exactly how they want it. They definitely want to make sure it's shareable. One huge thing to note that is very easy to do is where it says folders right here, make sure it says folders. And actually, to stress my point, I will show you this. So we go in, let's say I hit week 1. I don't have anything there. That's a bad example. Have anything in week 2? Okay, so I clicked too far. You don't click that far. If you do, and you hit this paper clip, and we're going to copy this link, this is wrong. If you're not paying that much attention, what I'm doing is wrong. If I were to paste this link, it doesn't say folder anywhere in here. It says document. So you always want to make sure this says folder or folder view. That basically means that you are sending your chef the entire folder. If it doesn't say folder, you're more than likely sending them one picture, one document, and then they're going to be like, where's the rest of your work? And you're going to be like, it was in there, I swear, but you didn't send it to them. Can you tell I've heard all of these? And it's okay if you're doing that. It's totally okay. I should say that if everyone has this learning curve, almost everyone has this learning curve. A lot of this stuff is new technology. It's new. Google Drive is so complicated. There are like 800 things going on there, and it's all called Google Drive. It is not all one thing. It is so intertwined with your Gmail, with your Google Drive, with your Google Docs, with your Google Sheets, with your Google Slides. I mean, Google literally just monopolized everything and put them into one, and it's Google. So that's how I feel about it. It's great. It's a great tool.
Hello, Jessica. This is Sandra again. I submit everything I had cooked. I submitted over to you, and I know I'm missing a lot of materials, but I need to know what I'm missing.
Yeah, Sandra, that's a great question. So right here, each week, it will tell you exactly which picture, each picture. So each number you see here is a picture, should be a picture. So each week will be different, depending on which class all of you are in either CU 101 or EA 103, or some type of mix of that. So you're in your first class, and it will tell you the few things you need to make each week. And each one of these is a separate picture. And each one of these needs its own narrative. And so you copy and paste your Google Drive link into this, and you click Save Changes. And that is it. And your chef will be able to click that link and go into your Google Drive folder you just shared with them, basically. I just got a notification on my phone that I submitted an assignment. That's really funny. See? Notifications. It's probably up here actually too. Yeah, I got a little ding right there. I submitted one 19 seconds ago. That was a good way to show you that. But yeah, so to go back, and I do want to show you like week 3. Let's say you still need to submit week 3, or you need to resubmit week 3. It will tell you right here, the first one where it says your week with everything there. And that will tell you exactly, like, to create this assignment, you will need each one of these pictures. Each one of these needs its own narrative. And again, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you add your submission, or you hit edit submission if you've already done it. And I do actually, let's see, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'm going to jump ship on you real quick because I know I favor the CU 101 class. So I'm going to jump into the PA 103 for you pastry side people in here. Very, very same thing. All this is essentially the same. You guys are just making different stuff, different teachers. So let's say we go into our week 4. You guys are on your sponge, your modified sponge. Again, you click your week 4, that top one, and it will show you all the pictures you need. Each one of these is a picture for each item. So you need to have each one of these pictures for your biscotti, and then your narrative production sheet, which is different, and I'll open one up, is different for the pastry side than the culinary side. It looks different. It is honestly a little bit, it's formatted a little differently, but essentially same thing, same principles. Don't leave any of these blank. Observations made, make observations. It doesn't, I mean, write something. Couple tips to help throughout. It's really good to, as you're stopping to take pictures through each step, write down a couple little things. Jot down some stuff that you're thinking or that you realize as you're going through it. And that way, when you go back to that narrative production sheet, you'll be able to fill it out much easier. So let's see. I'm going to go back, see recent. Hersey 101. And I totally just forgot what I wanted to show you next. Oh, recipes. If you have yet to find your recipes, that's a problem in itself. But your recipes are all listed right here. So to get those recipes, here they are. I personally love printing these out. If you have a printer or access to a printer, having your recipes in a hard copy will just make life easier. It's not necessary. It's more like a personal preference, but no one wants to keep having to go back and like look at their laptop or look at their phone while you're making something. It's nice just to have it in front of you. So that's a huge tip. I'm going to, let's see, we're kind of through dashboard stuff. You get to the discussions. I don't think they're on here. I'm going to go into one of your real classes because I don't like this demo anymore. So excuse me while I jump ship and turn myself back into a chef. Teacher over here. Gonna jump into one of your classes. This is not what your page looks like, but anyway. Okay, so let's pretend this is your chef. At some point, you're gonna have your discussions. Here they are, graded discussions, knowledge checks, conversion checks. Always make sure you're completing those. If you need help with the math, with the conversions, again, we have workshops, we have one-on-one sessions, we have flashcards. I know, and I think it was Johnny, I can't remember who was saying it earlier when we started. YouTube is a great resource, a great tool. You can learn a lot from YouTube. You can also waste hours on YouTube, but you can learn a lot. Google is your best friend. Anytime you're like, well, I don't know how many tablespoons are in a cup because you just forgot. That's another great resource to use. Google everything. Can't stress that one enough. Let's see, what else is on here? Calendar. Oh yeah, I did want to get into the calendar. You can use this calendar if you want to. It's a great tool. It's a great resource. You can create events. They show up as notifications, reminders if you want them to. If you don't use this calendar, use a calendar, any calendar, whether it's on Google, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on, I like a hard planner. Plan your week. It's really easy to fall behind and not realize like you don't have everything for an assignment and then realize that like your weeks are piling up and now you're in week 4 and you're approaching the end of week 4, but you haven't even submitted week 3 yet. So you haven't even made week 4 yet. And now you're just kind of behind and you're playing catch up. And that is no fun. I'm sure everyone sitting here listening to me right now has been there, myself included. And it's so easy to do with online schooling, especially because your weeks are in chunks. You have a week at a time. So it's easy to kind of be like, oh, I'll do that later. I got all week. Don't do that. Don't even think that. Schedule out your week as if you were going to school each day in person. Like on Wednesdays, we have to do this. On Thursdays, I have to have everything ready to cook, whether that means I'm grocery shopping, I'm doing my research, watching the videos. By Friday, Saturday, I'm cooking, I'm taking pictures. Sunday, I'm filling out that narrative, I'm doing that knowledge check. By Monday, everything's in my Google Drive, it's submitted. Gives you Tuesday wiggle room. Obviously, your week is not going to be that, but structure it what makes sense to you. If you know you're working a double Thursday, Friday, Saturday, don't try to make your cooking Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Schedule out your time as if it's an appointment. I mean, if you have a doctor's appointment at 1 p.m. on Thursday, you're going to go to your doctor's appointment at 1 p.m. on Thursday because it's a scheduled thing. So that is definitely my biggest tip. Schedule out your week as if it's due then, as if it has to be done then, as if this is what this block of time is for. You know your schedule. It can change each week. I mean, you don't have to stick with the same thing. I'm a creature of habit. I think we all are, humans in general, but I really like structure. And that's probably the OCD math side of my brain, is like, if I'm going to do this way, I'm going to do it that way through this whole course. And that's just, we're going to cook on Fridays, you know? But do not wait, try not to wait until like, Monday night to do everything. Tuesday night at 9 p.m. to be cooking your food because it's due by midnight. That is like, gosh, if I could go back and tell my younger self this, I would be in a different, maybe not, but I don't think I would have listened. Anyway, that's a whole different ball game. But yeah, I mean, that is definitely, I cannot stress that enough. Try to figure out what makes sense to you in your life. We all have jobs, maybe. We all have family, hopefully. You all have other obligations. You all have something going on. This is not your only thing. And if it is, great. That's awesome too. But yeah, make sure you schedule time for your school. If you know it's going to take this long to make something or this long to do your narrative because you struggle with writing, plan accordingly. If you are doing your conversion checks and you're not great with math, plan for that. Give yourself extra time. And like, if let's say you give yourself an hour and you're done in 30 minutes, now you have 30 extra minutes in your day for life or whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to do. I can't stress that enough because that is one way to it snowballs. It just really snowballs really quickly. And then it's really hard to play catch up. Aubrey, you have a question? I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick. Audrey, I'm going to say your name wrong. What's up?
You had it right. It's Aubrey. So my question is my narrative. Now, when I go and get my narrative after I finish my assignment, it pops up, and you said it automatically goes into my OneDrive, right?
It automatically goes to your Google Drive.
My Google Drive. My Google Drive, right? Okay.
Yes.
So when I click it, I'm not able to type on it.
Is it a PDF?
Probably.
No, that's a great question. Let me share my screen again and I will kind of show you. So let's go back. I'll just go there like as if you're getting there. So
I'm taking like a hard way to doing it. Like I'm copying it, pasting it into another Word document. Then I'm doing there. Too much. All right, okay.
You are. Hey, you are troubleshooting though, and like you're getting it done. It's just more time than it needs to be.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I've been there, and some of the stuff, to be honest with you, especially with tech issues, if it's working and you don't know how else to make it work, sometimes you just gotta go with it and let it roll. Because sometimes there's some funky stuff. So this is a Google Doc. When you make a copy, it should also be a Google Doc. Now, you're gonna laugh because I have so many copies of this in my drive. And my drive really just has blank copies of narratives at this point. So anyway, as soon as you make a copy, it will go in here under copy of narrative reflection. And this is in my drive. Now, sometimes, and I will show you the difference And I don't know if I have one right here in front of me or not. Okay, this is a good one. This is definitely something that is not what you're doing, not a narrative. But you see how this one right here has these little blue lines? That means it's a Google Doc. The one that has this red PDF means it's a PDF. And you can't edit a PDF. So one thing you can do, I wish I had something other than that. I don't. How bizarre. I'm going to just kind of see. Yeah, these are all Google Docs. Let me try this one. I'm going to switch my account because I don't have access on my other Gmail. So if this is you, you need to request access. I don't want to do that because I already have access. But let's say you get your PDF and I know what it looks like. I just don't want, you know, I don't think I have a PDF open. I'm just going to go to the one that I just showed you. Don't worry about anything it's saying. It's some document we had to fill out for like working here essentially. But this PDF looks like this when you open it and you can't edit it and you can't do anything. That's probably what yours looks like. If you click this top button, open with Google Docs, or if you don't have this button, you can click this arrow and click download. This will download it, opens it up, allows you to make a copy of it and edit it. Maybe not. I'm just going to keep downloading it at this point. But anyway, if that is you and you're struggling with this, see if you have this open with Google Docs option. And then that will copy it into your Google Docs. Sometimes as well, going back to your narrative, if you can't edit it, you can, if it looks like this and you just can't edit it, and you click this file button, or if you're on your phone or tablet, the 3 dots are always magic when you're in Google Drive or Google Sheets or Google Docs. 3 dots are key, but hit file and you can click the make a copy button. And let's say we want to name this pasta sauce, because that's what you guys were making this week. You can click on the My Drive and you can click this arrow and go all the way through to your CU 101 class, to your week, whatever, week 4. I don't have week 4, we'll put it in week 2. And you can select, and then you're making a copy of this document that you no longer can edit or can't edit. Makes you a copy. We named it pasta sauce. Now going back to my drive. Oh, I'm already in my drive. Scrolling up. Escoffier, CU 101. I just threw that in week 2. There's your pasta sauce document. Did that help? I hope it did. Aubrey, did that answer your question?
Yes, that helped.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Cool. I'm like, I get what you're struggling with. But yeah, it's an easy fix. And then I guess another thing, I don't want to go too far in Google Drive, but it is easy to rename them or label them. And if you are renaming and labeling them because your brain is like mine and OCD, just know that it's alphabetical. And so as you rename them, if you're renaming your pictures, it'll get all out of sorts if you're doing it, trying to label them like that. So it's good to label them like step 1, step 2, picture 1, picture 2. Those are great ideas. But I guess to give you just more, I don't know, study tips, kind of through a lot of everything that I wanted to talk to y'all about or go over. But does anyone have any specific questions, whether it be dashboard related or anything like that? Anything chef related, direct to your chef for sure. But Aubrey, you got another question for me?
I do. I'll be driving. I drive a lot while I'm in class. So how to get again to the part where you said it starts to read for you?
Oh yeah. I'll share my screen again. Let me jump in.
Okay.
No, that's great, because there's some people who probably joined late or joined early, or I don't know, not paying attention. I'm so that person that like I'm there and I'm present, but like some of what you said went out this year and out that year. And it's like, huh, squirrel. So I'm with you if you're that person, it's okay. Which is again why we record all these. So if you need to go back, whether it be this one or any of them that we have, they're all recorded, they're all uploaded, and you can watch them in your own time, which is great. So if you work third shift and you're up at 11 p.m. and you're like, no one's around to help me, these are great because you can watch them whenever you want. That's my terrible, like, I don't know what voice that is, but that is my fake voice, my fake needing help voice. So this is our tutor page to show you. This is in your Start Here section, online tutoring. These workshops, again, assignment submission ones are the Google Drive, how to set up your Google Drive, how to make those folders, how to upload your pictures, all that stuff. If that's where you're struggling, that's where you need to be looking. If there's no one-on-ones available, or if you're just not free when we are, I know scheduling and gosh, the time zone changes going on, and the time change on top of time zone differences is very confusing. But yeah, all these are recorded. Again, like math help, you guys aren't quite there, but you're gonna need costing, baker's math for those people in pastry side, rounding, common kitchen conversions, that is math foundations, decimals, fractions. I know majority of students here, this is your not singing time, this is your going back to school. So it might be 5 years since you've been out of school, it might be 50 years. That is okay. We definitely have something to help you on all levels. So these are all the Zoom calls to join all those with the time. They're always in Central Time. So depending on where you're at, if you're on the East Coast, that's 1 hour behind. If you're on Mountain Time, that's 1 hour behind Central Time. See, I even get confused. So it's an hour before this. Pacific Time, you guys are 2 hours behind Central Time. So that's if you're over in California. Anyway, archives. These are, and I will click on this. So culinary assignment submission. If you go in here, it'll pull up this form. Chef Andy, she's great. She's been teaching those. So if you want to know how to set up and use Google Drive on your desktop, go to this YouTube link. If you want to do it from your phone, go to this YouTube link. How to complete your culinary narrative if you're struggling, this one. How to resubmit and rename, this one. So I can totally just talk about that forever. But yeah, all these are great options, great resources. I mean, use them to your advantage. This is that natural reader thing that you were asking about. So it's like an extension, so you can add it to your Chrome. It is an extension. It's not like an extension. It is an extension. Add to Chrome. And if you don't know how to use extensions, we can definitely help you with that. But when you add it, you kind of have to download it and turn it on. But if you're in Google Chrome, which really is helpful when you're using Google, it just is, unfortunately, that's where it's at. So you see this little puzzle sign, that's your extensions. So natural reader text to speech, that is an extension in itself. I don't think it's downloaded yet. But anyway, that's where you'll find it to get it to get it going. Manage it. Manage extensions. These 3 dots are magic. Interesting. Remove from Chrome. Anyway, I can totally go off forever there. See how fast all these tabs get open? I had 2 when we started. This is the story of my life. Anyway, yeah, I guess
Chef Jessica, Julie has a question for you.
Perfect, because I was just kind of rambling there. Julie, what's up? Julie, are you there? She's gone. She's there, she's gone. Well, Julie, if you can hear us or unmute yourself and chime in whenever you have your question, that's cool. If you don't have a question or we already answered it, also cool. Does anyone else have any questions about any of this? Maybe?
Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I was just texting everybody that I'm in the hospital right now. So I'm not be able to do the assignment for this week.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Well, I hope you're okay, first of all, and I hope you get better soon. This is a great example of, and I will probably reach out to them for you or let them know. If anything like that happens, you know, just communicate with your chef instructor, letting them know. One way, actually, I will show you that because while we're here. So in your class, like I clicked on Chef Caesar's class, Cesar, I don't know how he wants to say his name. Anyway, when you're in your class, on the right side, on this little do guy, I don't know what you call him, pop out, pinned. Anyway, this is where you will find his contact info or hers, your chef instructor, and you can call them, you can text them, you can email them. Not going to promise they'll answer because that's just the way our setup is, but they might. You can send them a message on here, a Moodle message as we call it. So yeah, if you're struggling with something like that, just reach out to your chef, let them know. Your success coach, another person to let them know, especially if you're going to miss a week or 2 weeks and you're worried about getting kicked out or you don't want to get kicked out or who knows what. That's a great place to kind of communicate. One huge thing, just communication's key. I guess that's real life example. The better you can communicate with everyone you're working with in the program, the better it is for everyone so they know what's going on. But I hope you're okay and feel better soon.
I hope so. I just got the COVID right now.
Oh man, dang, that's no fun. Well, I guess on that note, does anyone have anything else about any of this or anything for anyone?
Hello, yeah, this is Sandra again. Everything, everything you told us to cook, I cooked everything already, and I took pictures of everything, like the steak, the tomatoes, soup, the onion soup. I did all of that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you just want to make sure it's all uploaded in your Google Drive folder. Make
Yeah,
sure
I see you gave me a C.
I'm not your chef. I didn't grade you. Don't
well,
blame me.
Okay. Okay, someone gave
Like I
me
didn't
a
do
C.
anything.
Okay. It's good. It's okay. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know, C's aren't bad. There's room for improvement, but
Because I work in a nursing home. I cook for 132 people.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I had to leave early because my granddaughter was in a car accident and her mother scared me and I panicked. That's why I'm in the bed. She told me her head is split wide open. And I don't know what to tell you. So I instantly just freaked out and just ran out the job. But when I made it home, I told them I was okay. My granddaughter, okay. She was calling me like she was gone out the world. But she's gonna be okay.
That's good. I'm glad she'll be okay. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'm glad she's too. But also, I thought that if you reach out to your chef, if you get a grade lower than you would expect or you want, you can always reach out to your chef and they'll give you a time to redo the assignment and turn it in. But you have to do everything over.
Yeah,
narrative.
they always let you make that up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest with you all, regardless of which class you're in throughout the program, every chef here wants you to succeed. We want you to be successful, and we want you to have the tools to do that. And if that means that you need to redo it or you want to resubmit it because you're unhappy with whatever outcome, then just reach out. Again, communication. The more you can communicate with them, either if you're happy or unhappy or what they can do better to help you or what you need, I mean, the better it is for everyone, because it's really hard to help people when you don't know what they need. So definitely, if you want to redo it, you are probably more than welcome to. And I'm sure there's some people sitting here listening who need to resubmit some assignments. And for that, you definitely will have to reach out to your chef, have them reopen that week up, because it won't let you once it's closed without them reopening it. So you do need their permission basically to resubmit. As far as I'm aware, every chef is really, really, really sweet about it. And they want, like I said, they want you to succeed. They want you to pass. They want you to learn. And if you screw up something, do not stress about it. You are all in culinary school. That is the point of culinary school, is learning, is growing, is trying new things out. And you're not always going to be successful at them. You're just not. I wish that was not the case, but at some point you're going to do something and you'll be like, I could have done that better. And that's okay. That's the whole point of culinary school. And so if you're not having those issues and you're not learning, and you're doing everything completely perfect and you've learned nothing and there's no helping you because you're so perfect and you're amazing, you don't need to be here. So, I mean, it sounds really bad, but it's so true. So, I mean, everyone here has different expertise and everyone here has something they can learn. And that's the coolest part of culinary school, is there's so many different niches that you can kind of go down, or like little rabbit holes, if you will. And those little rabbit holes you can explore for years. I mean, there's some top chefs in the world who still are learning every single day. So think of it every time you're making something, whether it's a good outcome, a bad outcome, neutral, think of it as a learning experience. Try to use those narratives and those production notes as ways to learn going forward, because you can go back and look at them. And so don't just kind of breeze through it, use them. They're a tool to you. And so you can actually, the more you put in there, the next time you go make those chocolate chip cookies, you're going to be like, oh, last time I made this recipe, they were really flat. And then you can adjust and kind of go from there and learn from your mistakes. But Johnny, do you have Anastasia? Nice for you to join us. We're about done. That's to just, but Johnny, do you have a question?
I did. I'm a really personable person, and my mom knows I'm in this program and she loves it. And she was like, it's really great for you to, meet your classmates, but it's really hard to, because we're online and it's kind of awkward, because it's just like online dating. It's like, I'm going to email you. I don't know you, but I hope you like me. Well, I know we have to do the discussions, which makes us talk, with our classmates. Is that going to continue to happen throughout the year? Or is it mostly up to us to, reach out to other people and be like, hey, let's, maybe start like, I don't know, Wednesday study group or something? Is that up to us, or is that
Both? Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah. So throughout the program, each class you will have discussion forums. You will have different things where you're interacting. Like I was showing the walk-in, that's one tool you can use. The more you utilize it, the more others will. So, I mean, yes, it's kind of forced upon you in a way throughout the program, but I really encourage you to do some of it yourself. Like organically is sometimes the best way, whether that be, you can make like an Escoffier online Facebook group and then just share it like with your classmates and be like, hey, join this Facebook group where we can communicate, talk to each other, and it's just more relaxed. And your chefs don't have to even be in there, but I'm sure some of you guys are having the same struggles, same questions. And if you were in person, you would be talking about them and going through it with each other. So, whether you want to email, you have access to everyone's email and all your classmates. So, you can message them on the dashboard, and you could message everyone and just be like, hey, do you guys want to jump on a Zoom call together and without our chef? And you could do that. You could, anything you can think of, I definitely think it would help, and it's more fun.
So jump in and don't be shy.
Yeah. And I encourage the organic side of it, because in your classes, you'll have discussion boards. They'll be graded. You'll have to reply, but some people won't want to. But yeah, I think the organic's always more fun because it's just natural and natural human interaction, which we're all dying for. I just want to hug you all through the screen.
Right.
Jessica, it's Sandra again. I got one least question for you. Can you tell me who is my chef?
Yeah, Sandra, is your last name Wallace? Sandra? What's your last name? I can't hear you. That's what's happening. You're on mute.
Hi, Chef. I have a question, if I may ask.
Yeah.
What I wanted to know was, actually, I do my narrative. And so I think I was doing it incorrectly. I was putting it inside of my area where I put my photos. But she told me that I need to link it to her so she could read it and do the page, the regular page that she gave me. I don't think I'm doing it correctly. And so I just go in and I answer the questions because I can't find the narrative.
Yeah. Are you in CU 101?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will show you real quick. So there's a few, and actually just a whole different tip. It's in each actual week. So if you're in your week 1 and you go to your week 1 assignment, like your carrots, ceviche, and carrot puree, and you go into it, this will give you your narrative. So at the bottom, required documentation, this is a link. And once you make this copy, which way too many of them, once you make the copy, I know, I always am like, my copy every time I show somebody. So I have like 30. But anyway, once you're in here, you can just make a copy of this and you can do this for each one of your things. Like what I would do if I were you, especially if you're in CU 101 and you have 12 weeks left. I mean, you have still another 8 weeks out of you. You can go and find out how many things you need to make each week. And you can put a blank copy of your narrative in your Google Drive and it'll just be there waiting for you. And so, you know, when you go to your week 5, you have 4 things, 4 narratives already there. You just need to fill them out. That's what I would do. But also on that note, I have been encouraging you not to procrastinate. So that would help that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope that helped.
That's good. I mean, Charlotte, come here.
I can hear you now, Sandra.
Yeah, I'm Sandra Wallace.
Okay, perfect. Well, and actually, let me show you real quick. Sandra, your chef is Chef Brown. So
Okay.
I'm gonna share my screen again. So right here, you're in your class page. This is where everything is. On this right column, when you're in your class page, will be your chef. So this is your Chef Kelly.
Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you.
Yeah, so anyone who needs to know your chef, it will be here because I know everyone has different chefs. There's a lot of classes. And so to show you, again, just to kind of click in one. Johnny, who's your chef? All these are chefs. He didn't think he's here anymore. Maybe he is or he's not listening. Chef Dandy, I know some of you might have her. So again, on this pop out.
Oh, I am Chef Jackie. I'm sorry. I'm Chef Jackie.
Chef Jackie. All right. Hey. Yeah, so Chef Crystal, Dandy, send message, office hours, their phone number, their email. If you need like her to let's say this is your chef and you're like, I want her to reopen my week 3. You can literally message her, hey chef, this da-da-da. I mean, they know it's coming from you. But yeah, that's how you would send a message. Says to text her. Apparently she likes text.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm sorry. I got an 86 last week on the beans. I didn't do a few things right. And so, yeah, Chef Jackie allowed me to